All right, hello everyone. Welcome to 15 minutes of positivity practice group with CIT Clinics. My name is Oli. For those of you that don't know me, I'm one of the co-founders of CIT Clinics. And we are a Northern California-based wellness center where we use ketamine and focus on psychedelic medicine. So that means we provide intravenous ketamine sessions that are guided. So there's someone in the room with you supporting you through the process. We do integration coaching and follow-ups. And the idea is to really create a very holistic approach to healing anxiety, depression, and OCD and other mental health issues that are such a struggle for so many of us. Yeah, and then, part of our philosophy is we don't view ketamine as this singular, magical drug that's going to fix everything, but rather we view it as a catalyst. It's a lubricant for other changes that need to take place, and those changes are what we refer to as self-directed brain plasticity. So remember, the structure and function of your brain changes constantly, and it changes based on repetitive experiences. So those of us that struggle with anxiety and depression are doing so in part because we've had lots and lots of experiences in our nervous system that stimulate those neural networks that give us that subjective experience of anxiety and depression. So what we're doing here is we're intentionally reversing that, and we're saying, let's use our mind to create positive experiences of the sort that we want, so that we change the structure and function of our brain. And that, if we do that over time, that in turn changes the default mode, the default set point of our mind. And we just generally become less anxious and more resilient, less depressed and more attuned with, awe and creativity and so forth. And the key here is we get to choose the ways in which we're changing that. So hence the self-directed brain plasticity. So how this works, everyone is welcome, beginners, more advanced folks. The idea here is we just do this repetitively every single day. We're meeting and we're practicing together. We'll practice for 15 minutes, then we'll have a 15-minute Q&A session. If you're feeling shy or don't feel like you're ready to have your video on, no problem. You can video is optional. If you have questions, please use the chat and raise your hand. If someone is sharing something that feels very heartfelt, please refrain from crosstalk or advice giving. Just let everyone have their experience. And then lastly, we are recording this session mainly for educational purposes, meaning, I want to be able to use this practice that we're about to do and create a library of tools that you and anyone else who's joining this group can use in the future. Okay, so today's Thursday, so I think of this as Thankfulness Thursday or Gratitude Thursday. So the first question is, what is gratitude? So gratitude, just to set the stage, is kind of like, wellness 101. Like we all, if we want to be well and happy and healthy human beings, our capacity to experience gratitude is a foundational skill. And it's a skill because we can practice it, we can get better at it. So it's good to have a definition of what gratitude is. And first and foremost, it's an embodied experience, right? It's something that we feel in our body. And it goes along with an awareness, like a consciousness that we have somehow benefited from someone or something or some event that happened. So we are the recipients of something good happening. We feel it in our body, and we are aware that this is happening. And the goodness that's coming our way can come from a person, or it can come from an event. It can be the weather that we feel grateful for. So it's not even a human-oriented thing. And the key part of this is gratitude is also imbued with the sense of, and I didn't do it myself. I didn't work for it. I didn't, do anything special to receive it. I'm truly just the beneficiary of this embodied experience that I'm aware of that feels really, really good. Great. So how to practice gratitude? we're going to use our memory, and I want you to think of someone to whom you feel grateful. So think of recent situation where someone did something kind, helpful, nice, something that benefited you. And if you want, close your eyes and drop into this memory. And I want you to remember what it is that they did. So I feel grateful to this person for doing X, Y, and Z. And now comes the embodied part. And that allowed me to feel, so feelings and sensations, because I understand the positive impact or needs that were met. So this is a very specific formula for cultivating or practicing gratitude. And you can use a pen to write this down, or you can do this in your mind. But right now I want you to drop into a place of remembering a situation where someone did something nice and kind, that's something that benefited you. So I feel grateful to this person for doing what they did, because it allowed me to feel, and now I want you to really feel in your body, in your bones, in your belly, in your shoulders, in your hands, in your throat, in your jaw. What's it like to be the recipient of this kindness, this thing, this behavior that this person is doing? And then also really importantly is to really get clear about, why is that important? Why does that feel good? So what needs were being met, or what was the positive impact of them doing whatever it is that they did? Like, really drop into that and get clear within yourself about, maybe it means that you felt like you belonged, or you were feeling loved, or you were feeling seen. It doesn't really matter specifically what it is, but the key here is to get clear about why gratitude matters. So I'll be quiet for a few minutes, or for a minute rather. I just want you to drop into this place of amplifying this memory of, I feel grateful to the person for doing what they did, because it allowed me to feel and experience things that were important and impactful to me. You notice your mind wandering, going away from this exercise. Just remember, it's totally normal. It's what the mind does. Just gently bring yourself back into the mode of steeping this memory, this person doing something that helped you, was beneficial for you. And feel it. Really drop in and savor it. Experience it. And as you're experiencing this sense of gratitude, I want you to imagine what your life would be like, or could be like, if this was a more readily accessible or more natural set point for you. Imagine going through life, feeling what you're feeling now in your belly and your chest, and just your overall sense of well-being around noticing that I was the recipient of something positive and kind and beneficial. And this is what we mean when we talk about turning temporary states into permanent traits. It's one of the foundations of brain plasticity, is that the more we experience and practice these kinds of experiences, the more this becomes a normal set point for our nervous system. And it is very much part of the healing process for those of us that struggle with anxiety or depression or OCD. We want to activate these parts of our brain that allow us to feel gratitude. So now go ahead and open your eyes and come on back. We're a little over time already. And I just want to remind you, we'll have a Q&A session starting now. But I also just want to reinforce this idea that these practices, while they're really simple, they can be quite difficult. And it's not atypical. People sort of do them, you get a flavor of how it works, and then you start feeling frustrated that you're just not doing it right, or you don't understand how to do it. So keep in mind that's certainly what I'm here for, and the whole team at CIT. So if you want support with figuring out any of this process, or you have questions that feel personal or private, you can always set up a short video call with me. Here's the URL where you do that. Just citclinics.com/Oli, where you can use your phone to scan that QR code and just set up a 15-minute session with me. Let's talk. Let's see, what would benefit you or support you even more.